her to destroy our morale. She's confiscated my latest issue of Workers' Struggle Daily. Miss Palmer must resign. She will be the end of us. I am perturbed.
Oopsie daisy. Broke. Ernie, the radiator in this hall is busted.
Again? You gotta be kidding me. And during Chuck's shift. Rose? Hey, doll. Tell that bird brain I need him in the West Wing pronto, okay? Chuck!
It's working. I just have to sit here and wait.
The colorblind guy. Who do you think?
Luckily, I won the funnel during our last poker game.
By the way, Red, you been to the bowling alley that just opened near St. Joseph's?
Chuck Berry.
Elvis Presley.
Dude, yo, you ain't got a clue.
So, just like Chuck Berry then.
You listen up, Fatso. The day will come when you eat your words and you say Chuck Berry is the king.
Not in this lifetime. The king of rock and roll is Elvis. End of subject. Fix that radiator and scram, Buster.
Freaking coward.
They're like puppets hanging from my little strings.
Cool.
Hey, Chuck.
Leave me alone, you crazy boy. I'm working.
I bet that inside there I'll find the layout maps for the ventilation ducts. But Chuck might see me. It's too risky.
Cool.
Well, the way things are going for me right now... That is such a good idea. Chuck is the real king. Presto. And now... Hey, Ernie. Are you a Chuck Berry fan?
Not on your life, Basco.
Oh, since your picture on the photo panel says Chuck is the king.
What? Chuck!
Hey, man!
I caught you red-handed. This is your pen, isn't it, punk?
That's not mine.
Come over here. Erase that with your tongue.
Chuck is the real... I never.
All right. I'll give you 1 minute to change your mind.
No.
They're mine. And that flashlight would be amazingly handy for finding my way around those air ducts.
Okay, your minute is up. You plan on wiping that off with your tongue?
Let's have a look. What the... I gotta figure out how to get to that ventilator fan. Okay, here we go. Good news, I found the central fan, and apparently the coast is clear. Somebody left this door open. Kurgan! Oh my! Oh, he's... Where's his head? Was it sliced off by the fan? Oh! How gross! This changes everything. Better tell Gabo about this. Where am I gonna put you, dude? That'll do it.
Brian burned Kurgan's head? And then what?
I'm pretty sure this is the place.
So what happened to Brian in the end?
Well... Hey, look! There's the car Bennett rented.
Bennett? Wait a minute. Brian was trying to escape because you were going to send him to jail.
Incorrect. He escaped because he overheard a phone call where I was making unrelated accusations about a patient who's pretending to be insane. Jacob Kurgan. Brian, on the other hand, is innocent. Vasco did not kill Colonel Kordsmeyer. The recordings I took of his hypnotherapy sessions demonstrated from a clinical perspective, but unfortunately that is not enough to convince the jury to find him innocent, which is why we are here now, at Lieutenant Colonel Jerome D. Chapman's house.
Chapman? Wasn't he Kordsmeyer's second in command?
I'm out of here.
The one who killed himself during Brian's trial?
Well, yes and no. My theory is that he didn't commit suicide. Instead, whoever's behind all this treachery most likely murdered him.
And you think we'll find some clues here to back up your story?
Exactly. Plus, Chapman called Judge Whitley the day before he died. He wanted to meet with her to discuss something important. I don't know what it could be, but perhaps we'll find some answers in this house.
Doctor, I still need you to answer a few questions, but believe me, I'm on your side.
All right. You look around down here, and I'll search around upstairs.
Hey, you think the hot water's working here? If I don't get a shower, those clues are going to escape from me. A nice hot shower, a fresh, clean outfit that's a bit more casual. Man, this must be where they found Chapman's body. Freaky. The best I can do is ignore it while I search for clues to prove Chapman didn't kill himself, as well as the supposed message he was trying to get to the judge. Come on, Gina, get down to investigating. A classic toe stubber. You can tell the interior designer didn't think about where to put it for very long. I don't know much about boxing, but from the design, they seem pretty old. Bennett gave it to me before my shower. It's a photocopy of the suicide note they found next to Chapman's body. It says, "To the Honorable Judge Lutricia C. Whitley, I beg the Lord Almighty to forgive me for what I am about to do, but I beg even more for justice to be restored in the United States of America, a country which seems to have given up on it without remorse. What's the use of defending your country if your country won't defend you? What good did 40 years of service and a perfect record do for Colonel Nathaniel H. Kordsmeyer? How is it that a disgusting murderer like Brian Basco can slip through the cracks of the justice system by making up a simple lie and that phony amnesia? I sincerely hope that this gesture of mine, disgracing myself and losing my honor, can at least help make sure that people like you, Your Honor, change your mind when you rule on this case and make the right decision. I hope you put the murderer where he belongs and justice back in its place. God have mercy on my soul." I'm almost certain they're the ones Chapman used during his days in the ring. Oh, old Granny Timmons had one just like it. Huh, looks comfy. Wow, was Chapman a major bookworm or what? Good idea, but besides looking through it, the time has come to do a full, in-depth ransacking of this room. I must not be on the right track. I've looked everywhere, but I haven't found a single thing that resembles a clue. This is going to be harder than I expected. For being a widower's house, there's a lot of them. Most men get by with a can opener and a bottle cap remover. No, none of them would be of any use to me. Oh, wait. This one might be nice, actually. I already had too much tonight on our way over here, but maybe I could make some for Bennett. Nah, I'll ask him if he wants some later. No, Bennett said he'd take care of searching upstairs. It might not be a bad idea to ask him how he's doing, though.
What is it, Gina?
First of all, can I make you some coffee?
Don't tempt me, Gina. I gave up on coffee the day Brian ran away.
How come?
After recent events, my brain has been so traumatized that consuming any stimulants could create an imbalance in my mental equilibrium. You know, I produce enough adrenaline and dopamine to fill an entire coffee maker myself.
Oh, I bet. Or even two. Hey, about Chapman. Could you tell me anything more about Chapman's death?
He had been fishing that day, but we know he returned here in mid-afternoon because he received a telephone call at 6:15 p.m.
Is anything known about that call Chapman received the afternoon he died?
I haven't figured it out yet, but what is clear is that the call was cut off. In fact, the line was cut off for a few days, and they came to repair it during the investigation.
Now that you mention it, who investigated the case?
In the beginning, the county sheriff, but then the military and the FBI took over and sent him home. Since the contact who gave me the keys to this place belongs to the FBI, I know the investigation was a mess, almost non-existent.
Why was the investigation so sloppy?
Kordsmeyer's death and Brian's trial had already stirred up too much of a fuss. Since Chapman's demise seemed like a clear case of suicide, with a gunshot to the temple and his own gun in his hand and no other signs of violence, the feds and army came in, they took a few fingerprints, a couple photos, rummaged through some drawers, and case closed.
Why was the investigation so sloppy?
Like I said, the day before, he called Judge Whitley and told her he had to give her an important document. Just imagine it. Hey, Judge Whitley, tomorrow I'll be delivering my suicide note to you. Well, you don't need a degree in psychiatry to realize it doesn't add up.
What do you know about Chapman's life?
Very little. He was born right here in Winkapin County. He loved sports. He was a calm and quiet man. His wife died a few years back, and he isn't known to have had any romances since.
Why is the cabin so clean 6 months after Chapman's death?
The cleaning lady has been coming in once a week because Chapman paid her for 6 months' work in advance, and her time's not up yet.
Let's drop Chapman's death for a bit.
Okay, any other questions?
You know, about our objectives in this house. What did we come here to do?
Our mission here consists of 2 parts. To find that message Chapman wanted to give the judge, and to look for clues which prove my theory that he did not commit suicide.
Have we found any of the stuff we're looking for?
Unfortunately, I haven't. However, everything seems to indicate that Chapman had a laptop here, which is now missing.
Who took it? The military? The FBI?
Perhaps, but it also could have been taken by the killer.
Or maybe Chapman hid it himself.
Good thinking, Gina. Good thinking.
Do we have authorization from anyone to be here?
Not exactly, but sort of. I have a friend at the FBI. I asked him for help, and he sent me the keys to the cabin and several documents related with the investigation. That and my status as a court psychiatrist should keep anyone from bothering us.
One other thing. Hey, about Brian. Gabbo didn't finish explaining to me how Brian's escape ended.
Oh, don't worry. Gabbo's just like that. He didn't explain it to me either.
What?
Well, he started to tell me a bit, something about Kurgan, air ducts, but I was exhausted after our own escape. I'm just glad to know that Brian made it out of Happydale and is safe from Miss Palmer. Or at least I hope so.
Can you tell me about how Brian is innocent again?
Of course. He did not kill Colonel Kordsmeyer, but he must have witnessed his murder, which led to the shock, causing him not to remember anything. Somebody set it all up so that Brian would take the fall, and I suspect that